KNSU Magazine, where we give you a taste of Nichols news and news surrounding the Thibodaux area. I'm Kristen Gotro.
And I'm Karen Cruz. Let's take a look inside the magazine. This past weekend, Cajun music, food, and feet tapping filled the air at Nichols State University with the annual Swamp Stomp.
Beatrice Beard gives us an inside look at this year's Jubilee.
Here in southern Louisiana, we like to embrace our Cajun Creole culture. If you're looking for the place to do that, here is it. The Louisiana Swamp Stomp Festival was held this past weekend.
The Louisiana Swamp Stomp Festival is a 3-day celebration of Cajun heritage, culture, and everything that involves that, including the music, the food, the rivalry. We have a cook-off, we have a fun run, lots of other events that kind of coincide with that, along with the actual music festival.
Visitors gather to hear music and dance along. Vendors from across the state come to sell localized items. The festival allows people from near and far to embrace the Southern culture and the importance to keep it going.
For us to preserve our culture and to teach our children exactly where we came from and how we came to be who we are today, I find that I learn something new every year.
If you missed out on all the excitement this weekend, don't worry. Be sure to check out Swamp Stomp's Facebook page for more upcoming events. Be sure to check it out next year. For KNSU Magazine, I'm Beatrice Beard.
I think I gained a few pounds from that event.
You could use the pounds.
Hey, I gotta keep my slim look going.
Speaking of slim looks and looking good, GSA put on a drag show this week.
Shay Misa shows us what the event had to offer.
If you weren't in the Cotillion Ballroom last night, you missed out on a wonderful show. The Spring Drag Show hosted by the Gatesford Alliance, while an exciting audience with amazing performances from professional drag queens. The show began with a few energized numbers from Lance Broget, followed by a small introduction from GSA President Trayshawn Nunez on his reason for creating the event.
Before, we weren't really doing all that much, and you know, when I became president, I was like, okay, I want to do this. I have a goal. I want to, share our culture with people and break, gender roles. And
the host for the evening, Chica LaRouge, had the entire crowd laughing at her hilarious antics and jokes, while also being blunt and real.
Things in this world, but you can't change what's in your heart. Always be you. Promise? Promise. I've tried to do things to help not impact the younger community, but help give them a way to be who they want to be, on stage or off stage. It's a good, it's part of being family, helping people, guide them, not really guide them, but yet let them know it's all right to be themselves, to go their own way.
The performers brought their own flair to the stage, dancing and singing solos and duets. The show itself was a great representation of openness and acceptance, as everyone in the room was having an amazing time enjoying the performances. The event also was a sort of message to anyone interested in the drag lifestyle in GSA.
I would say stay in school, get your education, don't try the easy way out of anything, and go for your dreams, and you can accomplish anything.
The Gatesford Alliance at Nichols State University is an organization that focuses on the support, equality, and culture of the LGBT community. Look forward to upcoming events hosted by the GSA. For KNSU Magazine, this is Misha Gassarin.
Those are some really interesting people.
They're not the only interesting people. Harmony Hamilton will show you one more.
Delivered newspapers. This when I was a teenager in high school. And in those days, it's not like today where a dealer has a whole area and constantly sells him newspapers and he delivers the papers and he pays the bill. In those days, they were what we called, they had circulation district managers, where a district manager had about 8 or 10 carriers in his district, and those 8 or 10 carriers, which I was one of, would deliver the newspapers. So anyway, we delivered them on bicycles, and they stole the bike. So I had to walk my route with a pack on with the newspapers in it, throwing the papers. They sent me to a business school, and I went to business school, but I had no college. I started out in the circulation department, and then I went into the credit department, and I worked myself up from a clerk to a junior clerk to a senior clerk, assistant credit manager, and then I became credit manager, and then they made me a vice president. And my job was making sure everybody paid their bills. The advertisers, you run an ad in the newspaper, make sure you pay. The people who deliver the newspaper, made sure I had to make sure everybody paid their bills. Remember the president asking me when I told him I was going to retire, he says, Aaron, don't you want to make 50? I said, no. 48 and a half years.
That was a fresh new look Harmony provided for us.
That's not the only fresh look we'll get today.
Oh yeah? What else?
You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Joanna Ducree gave us the look at a building that is getting a much-needed renovation.
Nicholls State University has completed extensive renovations in Stouffer Gym after being under construction for almost a year. This 45-year-old arena is the home of the Colonel men's basketball team, and this job will kickstart a facilities enhancement project in the department for the next few years.
The men's basketball program had been in offices that were created back in 1968, woefully inadequate to meet the needs of the Division I basketball program. So through the efforts of some private donations that were contributed to the university, approximately $200,000 from outside sources, coupled with some funding that Senator Norby Chabin was responsible for getting from the state, about $330,000. We had enough at $530,000 to do this complete renovation.
Besides a brand new private entrance for the players and coaches, the renovations include an expanded training room, men's basketball locker room, meeting rooms, players' lounge, men's basketball coaches' offices, and referee locker rooms.
A new training room over here, essentially tripling the size of the training room here, that will not only meet the needs of the men's basketball program, but the women's basketball program, volleyball, and several other of the women's sports here, all will now be able to be handled through the new training room over here. We've also constructed, took an old classroom and renovated it into a locker room for visiting basketball teams.
Stouffer will also feature a new 27-foot video board on the quad side entrance of the gym, and the renovated lounge area will have televisions and audio equipment available for visitors.
It's very nice, it's a completely 100% turnaround than what we used to. When I first came here, you know how it looked, it was run down and all, but now, we have nice lockers, nice bathrooms, and everything's just renovated. I'm really glad that we got this, it came at the end of the season, but we'd rather have it now than, any other time.
Well, what this also does is create a space that will be impressive for recruits and their family when they come here, and it'll help us to recruit better athletes here and greatly improve this program. So we're certainly grateful to the donors who provided funds for this renovation.
Well, thank you for spending time with us today.
Tune in next week for more news and more Nicholls. Bye!